Welcome back, Cowboys fans. Let's dive into some of the most recent and intriguing updates coming straight from the first open practice of the off-season activities. It's that time when you start getting glimpses of who's stepping up, who's settling into new roles, and which players are looking poised to make an impact once the pads come on and the real battles begin. One of the biggest talking points has to be Tyler Booker, and the clear indication that he's not just a candidate, but the outright choice for the right guard position. There's no more beating around the bush or that earn your spot starting. On the second team, narrative that sometimes drags out the process. Instead, Booker jumps straight into working with the first team on Tuesday, and honestly, this feels like a win-win for the Cowboys. Why delay chemistry building and preparation when it's evident he's going to be the starter in a matter of weeks? It's about getting him into rhythm, locking in the details, and pushing forward with a clear plan. Now shifting gears to the secondary, another name that has been catching eyes is Kyra Ilum. This guy showed up and made a solid impression during the first open media practice, especially on the defensive backfield side of things. Ilum was active, breaking up multiple passes and preventing any big downfield catches, though there were some short completions against him, but that's not necessarily a red flag. It's actually somewhat expected as players adjust to new schemes and teammates. What's exciting about Ilum is the fresh start he seems to be getting here in Dallas. The hope is that this change of scenery is exactly what he needs, because the defensive schemes here could play to his strengths better than what he had in Buffalo. With Trayvon Diggs and Savone Revel both sidelined as OTAs open, Ilum earned a hefty workload with the starting unit, which speaks volumes about the Cowboys' confidence in him. As it stands now, he's very much in the conversation to start Week 1, which makes a lot of sense given that Dallas traded to acquire him precisely to add depth and insurance at the outside cornerback spot. They need someone reliable as they wait for their stars to get healthy, and Ilum could very well be that guy. The nickel cornerback role is another fascinating area of focus coming out of this first look. There were two names in particular that stood out for their reps and potential contributions: Don Bland and Israel Muamu. Bland has previous experience playing in the nickel role, and while it might not be his favorite position, he probably prefers playing outside. He represents a flexible option. Ideally, you want a scenario where Diggs, Ilum, and Revel are healthy and playing their best, allowing Bland to slide inside at nickel, essentially making the defense as strong as possible. But if those pieces aren't all clicking early on, Bland could be the guy the Cowboys lean on to handle nickel duties, which is crucial. Then there's Israel Muamu, a younger player who's got a real chance to become the team's version of Rico Dowdle. He won't just be handed the job. Muamu will have to earn it with his on-field play, but he's shown flashes that suggest he can make big plays at key moments. That kind of clutch ability is exactly what coaches love to see from young defenders trying to carve out roles in the lineup. Another intriguing wrinkle in the defensive backfield came from Wanie Thomas. He got reps not just at safety, but also at nickel corner, which suggests the coaching staff is experimenting with different personnel packages and roles, especially with Donovan Wilson out and Maris Bell still recovering from surgery. Thomas is the front runner among the safeties and could be a key contributor beyond just special teams. His build and playing style don't fit the typical nickel corner mold perfectly, similar to Muamu, but he's versatile enough to potentially fill a hybrid role that blends safety responsibilities with nickel coverage. This kind of adaptability is increasingly valuable in today's NFL defenses, where big nickel and various sub-package defenses are standard. Thomas could be the player who fits that niche, especially when the defense needs someone capable of stepping up against the run while still covering agile slot receivers. It's a position that demands a unique skill set, and Thomas might just have what it takes. Turning back to the quarterback position, Joe Milton's progress is another story worth following. The early reports from the first OTA practices are that Milton's physical tools are impressive. He can throw the ball a country mile and move around with a good amount of agility. But as expected with a developmental quarterback, his consistency still has a lot of room for improvement. He threw a couple of interceptions during the session, including one off a tip and another where a defender just undercut his route. This is exactly what you'd anticipate from a raw late-round pick who's still learning the ropes. The encouraging part is the feedback on his work ethic. Coaches have been praising how Milton is one of the first guys in the building and one of the last to leave, attacking the playbook and absorbing the offense. That kind of dedication paired with his natural talent paints an exciting picture for his future growth. Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, has been vocal about Milton's upside, highlighting that while he's not consistent yet, the potential is definitely there. Dak Prescott's mentorship has been an important part of Milton's development as well. Having a proven franchise quarterback guide you is invaluable, and it's no surprise that Dak has stepped up to that role seamlessly. The preseason will be Milton's proving ground, and while there will likely be moments of brilliance mixed with mistakes, that's part of the process. Fans should expect an entertaining and revealing glimpse into what Milton can offer as the backup quarterback. It's refreshing to have a young, dynamic player competing for reps rather than relying solely on veteran backups like Cooper Rush, whose role was more steady but less exciting. Looking at some of the younger, less heralded players fighting for roster spots, Jalen Crarapa is one of those names that keeps popping up. Every offseason, Crarapa makes plays and flashes potential, but the path to cracking the 53-man roster is incredibly steep given the depth on the Cowboys. There might be a practice squad spot waiting for him, or if he really impresses, the team could face tough roster decisions elsewhere. Then there's Brevin Spanfor, a tight end who's been turning heads in these early sessions. Spanfor has been described as unstoppable at times during practice, catching multiple passes and getting open downfield, which is encouraging for a player built like a tackle but showing soft hands and route running skills. If he can add more dynamic plays beyond check downs and short yardage catches, he could become a real weapon at tight end and carve out a meaningful role. Lastly, a quick look at the running back room. Javonte Williams got first-team reps in a rotating backfield, but the coaches were clear not to read too much into that, given it's still May, and everyone was in shorts without pads. Brian Schottenheimer emphasized that you don't get a full picture of the running backs battle until the pads go on. Speed and agility, like what Jaden Blue brings to the table, are noticeable right now, but the physicality of the position is what really separates the contenders. So it's wise to wait until training camp or even preseason before drawing strong conclusions about who will emerge as the lead back. The rotation will likely continue as the coaches figure out who fits best in the schemes and who stays healthiest. Throughout the grind, all in all, these early days offer plenty of food for thought and exciting developments as the Cowboys continue to shape their roster and strategies for the season ahead. As the Cowboys move deeper into their off-season training, activities, the focus on player development, and roster battles becomes even more intense. One of the most interesting storylines unfolding is the ongoing battle for the nickel corner position. This role has taken on greater importance in today's NFL defenses, especially with offenses relying more heavily on quick, shifty slot receivers. Don Bland and Israel Muamu have emerged as the frontrunners to fill this critical spot. Bland, who has experience playing inside, offers a versatile option for the Cowboys. While he might prefer playing outside, his willingness to adapt and step into the nickel role could be the key to him carving out a consistent role on the defense. Muamu, on the other hand, is a young player with a high ceiling showing glimpses of making game-changing plays. His energy and ability to come up with timely plays make him a player to watch as the team looks to add depth and explosiveness to its defensive backfield. Wanie Thomas also adds an intriguing dynamic to the defensive backfield mix. His reps at both safety and nickel corner suggest the coaching staff is exploring creative ways to maximize the talents of their defensive backs. Thomas isn't the typical nickel corner physically, but his versatility might allow him to fill a hybrid role that helps the defense stay flexible against different offensive looks. The absence of Donovan Wilson and the ongoing recovery of Maris Bell have opened up opportunities for players like Thomas to step up and prove their value beyond special teams. This experimentation during the OTAs is crucial for the coaching staff to understand who can best handle multiple roles and provide depth in a position group that has seen some turnover and injury concerns. As the preseason approaches, Milton will be a player to watch closely. The games will give fans their first real taste of his ability to translate practice progress into on-field performance under game conditions. There will likely be ups and downs, but that's part of the process of turning a raw talent into a dependable quarterback. It also gives the Cowboys something exciting to follow beyond the usual backup quarterback storyline, injecting some fresh energy into the position. Meanwhile, the younger players competing for roster spots are making their cases with flashes of promise. Jalen Craripa's name keeps coming up because he consistently makes plays when given opportunities. His path to making the final roster might be tough given the team's depth, but he could become a valuable asset on the practice squad or force the coaches to make difficult roster decisions. Brevin Spanford, a tight end who's been turning heads, is another player with a chance to break through. His ability to get open and make catches downfield adds a dynamic element to the tight end group. If he can develop beyond being just a short yardage safety valve, Spanford could provide the Cowboys with a versatile weapon in the passing game. The running back situation remains in flux, with Javonte Williams getting first-team reps, but the coaching staff emphasizing patience in evaluating this position. Running back is one of those spots where practice reps without pads don't tell the full story. The physical nature of the position means that true competition and performance will only be revealed once pads come on and full contact drills begin. Jaden Blue's speed and explosiveness have been noticeable, but it will take time to see how he and the other backs hold up once the intensity increases. The rotation at running back will likely continue for some time, with the coaching staff trying to find the right balance of power, speed, and durability. In this early stage of the offseason, the Cowboys are clearly focused on developing talent, experimenting with roles, and preparing the roster for the grind ahead. Their open practices and OTAs give fans a valuable look at who might emerge as key contributors. But there is still a long way to go before the team finalizes its depth chart. The next couple of months will be critical for players on the bubble to make their mark and for the coaching staff to identify who can handle the physical and mental demands of the NFL season. With several intriguing young players showing promise and veterans stepping into defined roles, the team is building a foundation that could set the stage for an exciting campaign ahead. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a stunning turn of events that has left the entire NFL world in disbelief, the Dallas Cowboys have reportedly secured the signatures of 3 of the league's biggest stars: quarterback Patrick Mahomes, running back Christian McCaffrey, and wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Though initially dismissed as mere speculation, multiple league sources have now confirmed that the Cowboys have indeed pulled off one of the most jaw-dropping recruitment coups in professional football history. To Patrick Mahomes, the former Super Bowl MVP and the face of the Kansas City Chiefs franchise, brings his elite arm, mobility, and football IQ to Dallas, instantly transforming the Cowboys' offense into a powerhouse. His move comes as a shock given his long-standing ties to the Chiefs, where he led the team to multiple playoff appearances and 2 Super Bowl titles. The details behind his departure remain under wraps, but insiders suggest a combination of contract restructuring and long-term vision may have played key roles. Joining him is Christian McCaffrey, the dynamic dual-threat running back who redefined the position with the San Francisco 49ers. Known for his explosive runs and game-changing receptions out of the backfield, McCaffrey gives the Cowboys a lethal ground-air versatility that few teams can match. His addition will no doubt keep defensive coordinators up at night, especially when lined up beside Mahomes in the backfield, and as if that weren't enough, Dallas has also landed Tyreek Hill, the NFL's premier deep threat wide receiver. Hill, who made his mark with the Miami Dolphins after a legendary stint with the Chiefs, reunites with Mahomes in what promises to be a devastating offensive connection. With his blazing speed and unmatched agility, Hill will stretch the field and open up space for both McCaffrey and the Cowboys' receiving corps. The implications of these signings are enormous. The Cowboys, already one of the league's most iconic franchises, now find themselves positioned as instant Super Bowl favorites. Fans across the nation are buzzing with excitement, while rival teams are scrambling to assess how to contain this newly formed juggernaut. Though questions remain about team chemistry, salary cap management, and long-term sustainability, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have shaken the NFL to its core. What was once a rumor is now a seismic reality, and the league may never be the same. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.